Good morning, everybody. This is Gavin, and we are keeping it real estate on WBTA, and we're joined by the lovely Miss Nici.
Good morning, Miss Gavin. So very excited and happy to be here as we are winding down the year 2025.
I know.
And
it's
of course,
crazy.
looking forward to the new year.
2026.
Yeah, it's wild how fast this year has gone by. But in your field, how exciting is it to kind of think ahead and what you're thinking in projections of how it's going to go? And does it always work out that way?
You know what? It's funny. We should do, now that we're in the habit of doing this, we should do a year over year of what my predictions were last year and did that come true? That'd be a good episode.
We should do that. I would be very curious to hear that.
I think everybody errs on the side of caution. There's a lot going on. There's things, the market's always moving, and that's why it's fun.
Yeah.
And that's why it's challenging, and that's why it's exciting. So to answer your question, yes, I'm excited for the next year. We're finishing strong in 2025. Make no mistake about that. So it's going to be interesting to see what 2026 is going to bring. So today we are going to be talking about my 2026 Glow Region real estate forecast and what's next for buyers, sellers, and investors.
Okay.
And as we look ahead to 2026 in the Glow Region, Genesee, Livingston, Orleans, and Wyoming counties, we want to see how everything's shaping up and what the big picture is. So a little bit of a teaser. Interest rates are easing. We've already started seeing that at the end of 2025. Inventory is stabilizing. Again, already seeing that at the end of 2025. And we already know that we have to work smart. We have to work smart with strategy, whether we're a buyer or we're a seller. I've mentioned in a previous episode that we're talking about a skills-based market.
Which I love that. I love that you created that, you think that way, and that you put it out that way.
Yeah.
I don't think a lot of people would really even have that as a concept when buying, selling, anything really in the field of real estate. That's a good
Thank you.
way to look at it.
Because
yeah.
I think everybody's so quick to want to know and ask, is it a buyer's
Yes.
market, is it a seller's market, and boom, that must mean something.
Yes.
I think no matter, perennially or perpetually, we are in a skills-based market, responding to the market conditions. But I think specifically right now, as we go into the end of the year and as we look forward to 2026, we are definitely need to be focusing, whether you're buying or selling, as a smart strategist. It's not luck. It's not luck.
No.
I love luck, but I'm all about making your own luck. And so that requires strategy and forecasting. So we're going to define what success is going to be in this coming year. So
Okay.
the big picture for the 2026 landscape in the Glow region. Here's what I'm predicting are going to be the key trends. They're going to be at the tip of everybody's mouth. We're always going to be talking about these things. And these are going to be the key trends that really dictate what's happening month by month, quarter by quarter in 2026.
Okay.
A number one, interest rates. We all know it. Buyers and sellers should always be thinking about this. I'm predicting, and again, I'm not some wizard with a crystal ball. I'm not the Wizard of Oz, but looking at the key trend indicators and doing research and looking at what pundits are saying, etc. I expect that interest rates will settle into the high fives,
Yeah?
low six by mid-year.
Oh, okay.
That's what we're hoping for.
I was going to ask.
And I don't think I'm alone in that. I think if you ask any real estate agent or loan originator or anybody in real estate or anybody just in the know or anyone paying attention to what's going on, we're hoping that those things are going to settle. So interest rates are always a key trend. We need to pay attention to them. It's going to dictate both sides of the market, buyers and sellers.
Okay.
Inventory. Age-old thing, and we know that the Glow region's been lagging behind the rest of the country, that we've still been pretty much lower inventory. We do have more choice at the end of the year, and we hope that we're going to have more inventory into 2026. But I do think it's going to be a gradual increase.
Okay.
Just like in 2025, we never saw that big pop. I think we'll continue to climb as the market conditions ease and we've got better interest rates, more favorable interest rates. But I think we'll see a gradual increase in inventory, especially as would-be sellers, people that are on the fence about selling, like, do I sell, do I stay? As they regain confidence by what they're seeing in the market and the interest rate fluctuating, I think you're going to see a gradual increase.
Okay.
And the reason for that is because a lot of our sellers now also need to sell their home to be able to buy their next one. And that's what created the gridlock in inventory over the last year or so.
Okay. That makes sense, yeah.
So that's why sellers, you care about interest rate, because maybe you're locked in at that 3% interest rate from a few years ago in your current home, and then you saw 7% and you couldn't go anywhere. As those things ease and the right homes become available, it might move those would-be sellers off the bench.
Okay.
So that's key, inventory. Another key trend would be price growth. Okay. So we've seen a lot of price growth over the last couple of years here, right?
Yeah.
People's jaws drop.
We've been talking about it for sure. And it's something I think that is very obvious when it comes to your monthly market updates.
Yes.
And we're hearing and we're seeing and we're actually like
month
getting
over month, year over year.
The numbers right there, set in stone. We're hearing what they're doing.
It's true. And you know, I don't ever see in the next year we're going to have some big bottom out. Mm-hmm. So, again, we always talk about if you're from this area, you're native to the area, and you can't believe these prices. Well, I don't think they're going to make a big return to where they were or where you think they should be. But
I just wanted to ask, in reference to other areas outside of the Glow region, we're still at a relatively low comfortable price, right?
And compared to the nationwide statistics where the average price for a home is over $400,000.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Okay, yeah, okay.
For sure. And that's a good point, Nici. So, you know, we just don't like it because we're comparing relativity here of like, wow, you can't get anything for $100,000 right now. No. You can, but it might not be suitable for you. But in terms of price growth for the 2026, I think it's going to be slower and steadier appreciation. Maybe around 3 to 5% projected region-wide, whereas normally you'd see that 5% steady. I think it's just going to be slower, healthier, steadier appreciation.
Okay.
So that's good, but it's still going to go up, guys, more or less. You know, it depends on the comps and what's going on in the world. But you're going to see price growth, but I think it's going to be slower and steadier. Another key trend in 2026, demand. And I don't see this going away. I think we're still going to have strong demand for single-family homes under $350,000. And like in our regions, I still see where a lot of people are coming in and they're wanting to spend below 300, like 250 to 300. And that's still a lot for the first-time home buyer in the history of real estate in our area.
Well, that's true.
You know, but I think demand, it's still going to be very strong for single-family homes, 300,000 and less. And I do think that affordability is still going to remain key in our area in 2026.
Okay.
I think we're still going to struggle with this is where we're at. This is what that costs. And so it depends on you as a seller or a buyer if you want to come off the bench and expect what pricing is going to be. I don't think we're going to have any low bottom out pricing. I think we're going to continue to be steady Eddie.
Okay.
Sorry.
All
That's
right.
how it is. And then another key trend is the shift.
Now, what do you mean by the shift?
So once upon a time, and we've talked about kind of like the flavors or the seasons or the themes we've seen over the last 5 years persisting in real estate. We had that frenzy, and then we had some balancing. So I think the shift that we're going to see from 2025 to 26 is that we're going to go from maybe multiple offers in 24 hours, you know, those kind of really high intense, very desirable properties with a lot of buyers jumping into motivated buyers meeting realistic sellers. I don't think we're going to have, I'm hoping and forecasting that maybe we're going to move away from that delayed negotiation model in 2026.
Oh?
And I think we'll see it here and there based on the seller's prerogative of what they want and what they dictate. If they want to see offers due at a certain point, that's what I mean by the delayed negotiations. But I think we're just going to return to more of a traditional, here's the house, it's priced well, it's presented well, it's on the market, book your showings. I think we're going to have more open houses, and I think you're going to have more steady offers come in one at a time, two at a time, and we're not going to have this big drive towards multiple offers within 24 hours so that the seller can look there and compare them all. I could be completely wrong. I think we're just going to be sellers, if they were really smart in 2026, will heed this shift and really just try to not create a circus, not create 13 offers because you priced it so low and make a parody of it. Really just go after solid, motivated buyers, priced reasonably, and get those quality buyers that have done their due diligence and they're pre-approved to get those 1 and 2 offers that are quality.
Now, can I just ask, you as a realtor, you represent somebody who's selling a home. Do you find it to be, I don't know, difficult, easier, or maybe it just doesn't matter when a seller does decide to go in and have multiple due on one day, as opposed to, the offers come in, you present it, the offer comes in, you present it, the offer comes in, you present it. And then you guys, I guess, pick and choose or whatever it may be.
Great question. It's a property by property scenario. It'll be a couple ways that I have to answer this, of course. In years past, where there was such demand and the interest rates were so low, if we didn't delay the negotiations, it's almost we got ran over like a freight train.
Okay.
It was actually a management thing for the seller, and it's always the seller's prerogative and their choice of if they want to or they do not want to delay negotiations. That's not an agent decision. That is a seller decision. But it actually became a management thing because we would have offers flying at us, one at 7 a.m., one at noon, one at 6 at night, one at 9 p.m. You kind of wanted to corral those offers for the comfort of the seller to present them all at once and make a steady decision and an educated decision and discussion, seeing all those offers at once instead of them all flying at you at different times of the day, because they would have, okay? Yeah. But now I feel as if that when you do delay negotiations, buyers have gotten a little bit tired of that strategy and they actually back off. It might actually scare them. It might say, well, I'm going to wait and see if it survives delayed negotiations.
Okay.
And maybe then if it doesn't, then I'm going to put my offer in later. And even, again, even if you delay negotiation sellers, it doesn't mean you get the offers on time that you thought. And it doesn't mean there's anything wrong when you don't. But it does give some sort of parameter to the buyer now that, oh, well, it didn't sell when they thought it was going to,
right.
And now I've got more choice. And it doesn't mean you're not going to get an offer the very next day after that deadline.
Right.
And it doesn't mean you're still not going to get multiple offers. Same thing if you don't delay negotiations. It doesn't mean you won't get multiple offers. I have found in the last quarter here, when I've been working with sellers and we've decided not to delay negotiations, I'm still getting, in some cases, multiple offers. I just have to communicate and be a good agent representing my seller and communicate with the buyer's agents with whom I'm working to say, hey, I have an offer in hand and my seller wants to meet this afternoon to discuss the offer I have in hand. Can you please get me that offer in sooner than later so that we can discuss them at the same time? But, it's a management perspective with a delayed negotiation. So is it better? Is it worse? It's not so much that. I just think we're going to get real because I don't think homes are flying off the shelf like they did before in 24 hours or less.
Okay. No,
for a lot of reasons.
Too. Yeah.
Because I think we're going to price better and we're going to attract the right buyers for those right homes from a seller perspective. And buyers, you should be prepared, and so you're not panicking either. Okay. I think delayed negotiations created that panic frenzy as a theme. It shouldn't, and that wasn't the idea, but it did. And so I think everybody's tired of that. Let's just price our homes right. Let's make sure our buyers are qualified, and let's match buyer to seller and home to property and agents working together and buyers and sellers working together collectively to result in a right sale.
No, I like that. I like how you completely put that out there. And yeah, now that you kind of break it down in that way, when you have, that limited time where all your bids are coming in, I guess if I were somebody who were looking at that, I probably would sit back too and feel as though I don't want to compete. I don't think I can compete. I'm just going to wait.
There's that. And there's remorse too. I've seen where they've had delayed negotiations recently. Maybe a house is really underpriced and it really ratcheted up multiple offers like 10 and over, which is really, really a lot in our area, especially now in the market. It was because the house was vastly underpriced. And then what I saw is that, you're one of a dozen offers. And what I've seen is that the buyer's got cold feet. Oh. So I get a notification from a buyer, the seller's agent saying, hey, thanks for your client's offer, but we went with another offer. And then 24 hours later, they're coming back to me saying, actually, that one fell through. Now we're coming back to you.
Which gives you a little more.
Yeah, leverage. So, I think it's hard to paint the brush for every circumstance. It's a property by property scenario, but I think that one size fits all delayed negotiation model isn't working for everybody.
Perfect. I like it.
And so maybe that's going to go away and we're going to be doing that. So in the theme of that, for 2026, I think it is the year of rebalancing.
Okay.
Recalibrating.
All right.
It's not a bubble market and it's not a bust. We're not bottoming out. I'd like to call it's a back to basics market. And that's what I'm describing. Price the house right, get it ready, prepare, have a marketing plan, work with your agent, get it ready to sell. Buyers, get your your pre-qual ready, get your financing in order, understand what your limitations are financially, geographically, lifestyle-wise, and let's go about this with intention and presence.
Nope.
That's what I mean by
Makes sense.
rebalancing. So I think what you can expect county by county, like Genesee and Livingston County, I think they will continue to lead the region for those mid-range single-family demand because of probably geography and activity in those regions. Livingston County with its vicinity to Rochester, Genesee connecting Rochester and Buffalo. So I think Genesee and Livingston counties will lead the region in 2026 for those mid-range single-family homes.
Okay.
I think homes priced right and move-in ready will still attract multiple offers. It doesn't mean that it's going to happen with a delayed negotiation strategy, but I think, like we've said often on the program, if it checks all the boxes for you or 80% for you, it probably checks 80% for somebody else. You're still going to see multiple offers. It's not that you won't. I just don't know that you're going to see 12 offers. And anything in the price range for sub $300,000, below $300,000, that market, I think, will still remain very competitive because that's where most buyers are qualified. And you're talking about first-time home buyers or buyers that are leveling up from their first home in that realm of 300 and less.
Okay.
And therefore, if that's where most of the market is, I think that's going to be really competitive. I think the upper tier homes, luxury listings, or homes that are $400,000, $500,000 and higher in our area, you're going to see more room for negotiation. The higher end in a balancing market is usually what takes the hit, or it takes longer to sell because there's fewer amount of buyers at that level.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think where you've got the most movement and competition is the 300 and lower because that's where most of your buyers are going to be. So seller takeaway number one for 2026, you need to price with precision, not pride. Okay?
I like that.
Work with your agent. Buyers are informed, okay, and they'll pay for value, but not your nostalgia.
That's true.
And buyer takeaway on the flip side, number one, is preparation wins. I say it over and over and over again. Get the pre-approval done. Get your finances ready. If you're a cash buyer, get the funds liquid. Have realistic expectations. And have flexibilities on the features of what you're looking for. Because I don't think you're going to find a perfect home in everything. But if you find a home that checks 80% of your boxes, maybe even 75%, I think you're going to find a home that's the right fit for you at this point in time, okay? In 2026, the homes that shine and show well are still going to fly off the shelf. But gone are the days of name your price sellers, okay? So when we talk about multiple family homes, and that's kind of a trend we've seen in the last year, a lot of buyers are like, well, I'll consider a multifamily home like a duplex. I'll live in one half and maybe rent out the half to deal with the affordability issue. And investors are into that as well. Let me give you a little bit of a market snapshot of what I think is going to happen in 2026 with multifamily homes. Duplex and small multi-unit homes, like 4 units and lower, I think those properties are going to continue to perform really strongly in sort of the city areas or the developed areas of the county and the region, like Batavia, Leroy, Warsaw. I think rents are going to remain steady with a 3 to 5% annual increase as expected. I don't think those rents are going down anytime soon. And because, again, inventory is low for rentals, just like inventory is low at this point in time for single-family homes and multifamily homes. So vacancy rates remain really low for rentals, so you can expect that those rental increases are going to continue. Investors in 2026 in the Glow region, I think you're returning to smaller, manageable properties as mortgage rates normalize. Maybe you're actually investing in small single-family homes versus multifamily homes or bigger rental properties. So my seller takeaway for 2026 is that if you are an investor or you're somebody that wants to be an owner-occupant of a multifamily home, use that rental as your retirement tool and treat it like one. Yep. Right? Have clean financials, clear those leases, have clean leases, and make sure you're solidly maintaining records for your rental properties. Mm-hmm. Even if you're an owner-occupant in a multifamily, have records of that stuff because those are the properties in the long term that will command top dollar, and buyers will expect that now. Cash flow beats speculation, okay, when you're an investor. Look for properties that work with today's numbers and what's going to be happening in 2026, not what you hope. So remain relative.
That's the key right there. Not what you hope
That's
as
right.
opposed to what reality is.
That's right. 2026, I think we're going to see still ever popular land and lifestyle rural opportunities. It's what we're known for in the Glow region, because in any 25, 30 minutes, you can be in a village or a city and have that sort of micropolitan lifestyle, but then you can drive past the cow on your way to work, you know? So we have that. So the current dynamics of what we're seeing and what I think are going to persist in 2026 are lifestyle acreage and hobby farm parcels are going to draw that strong interest because our closeness to metropolitan areas and what's available in Genesee, Livingston, and Orleans County and Wyoming. Buyers are going to seek privacy, space, and flexibility. Okay. They love when there's a workshop. They love when there's an outbuilding or a barn, or built-ready sites.
True.
So that's something that I will see in terms of that. But the limited inventory of quality parcels is going to keep prices really stable. So I don't think you're going to find deals per se or underpricing. I think that demand is going to demand the market and the prices that we're seeing. So remember, buyers, land is legacy. So whether you're building now or holding off for later, well-located land is going to remain and retain its value and give you a smart hedge. So, think about that in the coming year, that they're not making more of it.
No, yeah.
Land, they're not making more of it. The seller takeaway, though, presentation isn't just for houses. I think what we've seen when we are presenting land now, it needs to be surveyed. It needs to be presented. It needs to be flagged. People need to know what they're buying.
I agree.
And they want to see the access. Mm-hmm. So make it easy for buyers to picture their usage of the property, or if they're going to build, how their dream home is going to settle on that.
Yep.
Okay? So my 3 core takeaways in 2026 for sellers, okay? Let's talk to you. Number 1, price realistically. In 2026, the best priced homes will still sell quickly. Sellers in 2026, presentation sells. Clean, bright, photo-ready listings drive more traffic, period. Yep. And sellers in 2026, partner with the pros. Negotiate and market strategy matter more than ever. So make sure you're aligned with and working with a real estate professional that's going to help you with that. Buyers in 2026, be ready. Get that pre-approval, get your funds in order, and have a clean, clear budget. That's going to give you the power to negotiate and know what you're going for. Buyers also in 2026, be smart. Look for true market comparables, not online estimates. Yep. And if you need the help of your real estate professional to do that, and I hope that's what you're doing, please do that. That's what we're here for. And buyers, you know what? In 2026, I'm going to put this out there. Be bold. Okay? Great homes and solid investments will always reward with your action. So if you're one of those people that's saying, I'm going to wait until the interest rate goes down again and down again, it's probably not going to, and it's actually probably a matter of $80 a month difference to you. So stop going out for pizza, get real.
There you go.
And really make an investment in yourself and your future. So be bold. So that's my call to action in 2026 for the buyers there, because I think you're going to have some opportunity that you don't want to miss. So in 2026, I think for both buyers and sellers, confidence is going to come from clarity. Know your lane and move with intention.
I like that.
Okay?
Look at you being so assertive.
That's what I think. So that's my hope. That's my dream. That's my goal. That is my forecast for 2026 in the Glow region for real estate.
All right. So we're going to totally obviously record this, but I'm going to play this next year at this time.
Okay, cool.
To listen back.
That would be awesome.
I want to hear what.
Can we do sound effects when it was like a wah, wah,
that's
or
what
like
I was just
ding,
going
ding,
to say.
ding, ding,
And
we
you're
were
going,
right. You know?
Oh, man.
That'll be awesome. But I would love to know what other people think, too, because we all love real estate. We all love talking about it. So if you've got a point of interest or a focus or a forecast for 2026, call us and let us know, or email me or call me at 585-344-1321. I'd love to know what your individual forecast and really what your goals are for realizing your real estate goals in 2026.
No, I want to hear it too. I may not fully understand it.
Yeah, let me know and I'll bring them in and we'll talk about them.
Yeah, for sure. Well, as always, I appreciate you coming in.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Yes, of course. I think this has become one of my favorite things that we do each week, as I knew or really honestly cared nothing about real estate, but like
now you
as
love
you
it.
come, I'm
now
always thinking of questions and I'm like, but wait. And now I actually am in the world and I hear things and I'm like, well, according to my friend Gavin, I heard, it makes me feel, involved.
It's great conversation pieces during the holidays too, isn't it? Great. Yeah. What do you think?
I do.
But I think everybody get ready for steady opportunity in 2026. Yeah. Cheers to that. cheers to wrapping up the year, and cheers to you and your real estate goals in 2026.
100%. I appreciate you. And of course, all of you listening in every week as well. And of course, we'll be back next week right here on WBTA's Keeping It Real Estate. Woohoo! With Gavin and Nici. All right. You guys have a wonderful week. And of course, you as well.
Thank you. See you soon, guys.